I'm going to show you how I would approach cleaning up old Luigi's logo here. We have a PDF file that we got that was the source of our logo, and I opened this PDF up in Illustrator. If I go to the outline view, I can see that's a good sign. I've got an outline set of pieces for the logo. I can select it, I can copy it. What I ended up doing, I'll move along quickly here, is we're going to take it from this file here, which I pasted this in. There's what we have. So we have a few problems. We have some filled in counter spaces in the text. We have kind of a weird filled in mustache. We have some areas that have a fill in them, and then the face doesn't have a fill in it. So I would like to get a kind of real workable, adaptable logo that we can work with here. The other thing is the type was taken from a scan and auto traced, and it's pretty awful. So we want to fix that type. So I'm going to show you the end result here. So here's what the end result would look like. The Luigi's type, the counter spaces have been taken out by doing the compound path to knock out these holes. I went in here and I replaced the type with a set of Adobe Garamond, and just took a little bit of tracking and kerning to get it into the same area. About a 480% tracking on that. And then we have Mr. Luigi. I've got his outline cleaned up. He can go over any color as a black and white drawing. I also decided in some cases he may need to stand out from the background, so I made a big fat white outline that would go around him. I also thought he probably needs color here and there, so I made an area, color areas layer that has a scarf, lip, face, and hat layer inside of that. So you can get to any one of those pieces. And then I have the logo, the chef logo on one outline layer, the chef logo outline on a layer, and the text is on another layer. So this is all split up into pieces. It's pretty well labeled, and if any designer came along after me, they would have an easy time of using this for whatever they needed. So let's jump into this. Okay. I'm not going to replace the type with Garamond. That's a pretty straightforward thing. You can do that if you know how to use the type tool. But if you want to knock a hole out of the big L here, that's just simply a compound path. So make compound path. Same with this one. Make compound path. And we've got it. Now, I think what I would like to do is kind of separate these things. I've got everything on, I've got a set of empty layers here. So if I take this off, there's nothing in the other layers. I'm going to kind of park things where they need to be. So here's all of the Luigi's type. I'm going to say that goes up to the logo layer. So logo text. I can turn that off and not worry about it. Now I need the outline of the chef, I need the color areas, and I need the chef backer. So I'm going to take the entire chef unit here. I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go up here to the chef outline layer. I think I will lock off these other layers, just protect them. And now I'm working only on the chef layer. Go here to paste in front or back or in place, doesn't matter. It's going to keep the chef in the same place. So now He's on that layer. I'm going to do the same thing with the color areas. So I'm going to go into color areas and do another paste. When you say paste in front on a layer, it just means in the front of that layer. It doesn't affect the other layers. Okay, so let's turn off the outline. Let's go to the color areas, and that's unlocked. I'm going to start by, I'm going to get rid of the white there and see what happens. And that really needs to be a compound path because it doesn't cut a hole. So get a little tighter. Select the black outline. Shift select the white. Now cut a hole in that with the compound path. Very handy thing. And did I miss it? Try it again. Make. Didn't work. Yes, it did work. I had the logo turned on underneath. Got to watch those eyeballs. So now we have the chef. So we're working on color areas now. Well, we have the white for the hat. Shift select that. So if I take those two things, plus, if I go in here carefully, shift select the little wrinkles in the side of the hat, those are all the white parts. So I can group those. And in here, there's my group. If I click the outline or the visibility, I can see there's the group. I missed one little chunk. So I have to take this one. And that path didn't get added to the group, so I'm going to put that into the group. And I see one more little crumb over here. So once again, carefully select that one. I'm moving this little chiclet up into the group. Okay, so now all of the hat is within this group here. We'll call it hat. That'll make it a lot easier when I return to this logo in the future and wonder what is going on with the logo. Okay, so let's go in here. We'll do a shift select on all of the parts of the neckerchief or the scarf or whatever you want to call it. And looks like that's the parts there. So once again, we group that. So there's our group for the scarf. Yep, and it's all there. Scarf. There we go. Now we've got the lip. So that's just a path. I'll just name it lip. So that's what we need there. Now, for the face, I think the simplest thing is just you pull out the old pen tool and draw a shape for the face. I think I will give it no fill right now, and I will give it a magenta kind of stroke color so I can see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to click down here, put a few Beziers in here. It doesn't have to be real accurate because it's going to be covered by the big thick outline of the drawing. So go up here. So I'm just going right down the middle of that outline. And so there's my face tone, and then I can take the stroke off of that and give it, I'm just going to take a wild guess at a face color, maybe approximately the color of a face. Okay, so that one there is called face. So these are all the colored areas I need within Luigi's. Now the face really needs to be below the lip especially. Okay, so there we have these things. Now all of these previous paths are the outline of the drawing, so if I select them, get rid of them, now I have only the colored elements that I need. Oops, undo that. I might just select the lip, go to my swatches here. Earlier on I made a color called Luigi's Red, so I'm going to use that. It's a process color right now. It could be made a spot. All right, so we have the color areas built. Now lock them off, turn on the visibility of the logo. So if I take out the white, unlock it, if I take out the white, there's just black there. So once again, we have to get out the magic of the shift select and make a compound path, which cuts a hole here. So there we go. Do the same thing here. We click a little tiny piece here. That didn't work. Let's try this again. Let me select that more carefully, see if this is any better. Okay, that didn't like it at all. So let's sneak up on it from this end. Here, we'll take that, shift select the rest of it. There. Now compound paths are one of those things that are really magic, and they usually work, but sometimes they don't work, and so you have to be kind of careful with them. You can always go back and start over. So that's why I'm kind of going in steps here. I could have selected all the white and the big black shape and tried to do it in one operation. It might have worked. It may have had trouble. So I'm just kind of coming up on this gradually. So we'll take the lip and cut it out of the mustache lip shape. Now you notice that I just goofed up the white on the mustache. So undo that. So here again, it might work and it might not work. Now you may have noticed that Command 8 is the keyboard shortcut for making the compound path. And it's because I'm doing a lot of this, I'm going to take extra special memory powers and use the Command 8 instead of going up to the compound path again. So here, once again, shift select this. Let's try for getting them all in one shot and see if this works. Okay, here we go. That worked. All right. So we have Mr. Chef as an outline. We have color areas to fill Mr. Chef. And now, what do we do to get that backing area? Since we've got holes and gaps and things here, probably the raw materials for that would be everything that is visible here. So I'm going to turn off or unlock the logo layer and the color layer. I'm going to copy everything. Those are all copied. Now I can turn these guys off so I can see what I'm doing. Here's the chef backer layer. If I paste this in front or in back or whatever, everything shows up. Okay. Now to make my backer layer, all I need is something that has the outline of the entire shape, which means all of these pieces. So it'd be a great chance to use my Pathfinder tool, use the old Unite feature, and there we have it. One great big shape. Now that has to be, let's see if I've covered up my swatches, pull them out, fill that with white, say that the stroke is white. Here's our stroke controls. Just by adding a big stroke to that, we can make this fit to whatever we need. If somebody needs thinner outline or a thicker outline, depending on the size it's used, there we have it. So we have now the whole deal with the type, except for, of course, I haven't replaced the scan type with the real Garamond, but that is the bulk of it. So we have something very usable by a lot of people, and we save that, and we have a logo.